Hey everybody, Vaughn here with the Vonster Vlog, and in today's VonBlogVlog vidcast episode 2, we have just recently gotten back from Anime St. Louis, which is a phenomenal event. This year was their 14th year, and I think it was like the 7th or 8th year of us event. I don't even know how many years we've evented at Anime St. Louis, but hopefully we'll be back again next year because this year was phenomenal. A vending perspective, it was amazing. If every convention were like Anime St. Louis, like so well run and just everything, like it's the perfect size of venue and concentration of dealers and like things to do with just the right size of attendance, that it's perfect. It is, I could not have planned for a better weekend. And that's just the vending perspective. From a friendship perspective, we've been doing St. Louis shows for so long that we've gotten to see, people who, when we met them, they were like in like middle school and high school, and now they're starting families and they have these lives, like they're like grown-ups. And it's crazy. And it's like they stop by the booth and they say hey, and it's so nice to see who they've grown into, and I can't wait to keep seeing, see them again next year. But and then a lot of our vendor buddies, some of which like our artist friends like Laura and Allie, we hadn't seen them in like 4 years. Can't remember the name of their company for the life of me, but if I remember to, I'll put a link down in the video description so y'all can check out their art because they're crazy talented. But we got to catch up with them a little bit. We got to catch up with the folks of Brass Engine Creations and just like 5 other like it was so intensely packed with hanging out and well balanced with also working that we came home exhausted but inspired. And I had really missed doing conventions. It had been like the density of our convention going was so low that like we were going to like maybe one convention every couple of months, but I feel invigorated and just like really inspired to get back to work and keep doing what we're doing, re-inspired to get my health back in line, because I am, not that the scale is everything, but it is a measuring tool, and I got it back up to like 221.2 pounds. I'm not being particular at all. But more than anything, my back has been killing me. Like, I don't know if it was just the beds we were sleeping on or what, but like, I was like, I need to do more yoga, period. Like, so back on track with that, because nothing will make you feel like you just ran through a gauntlet, like spending 3 days on your feet and getting very little sleep and sleeping in like a kind of, not necessarily crappy bed, but a strange bed for sure. But yeah, we're home from Anime St. Louis. I'm gonna try to do, I don't know yet if I'm going to have garden video in with the VonBlogVlog, or if I'm gonna just kind of keep the how my garden grows entries like separate, or if you guys want like garden stuff at the end of the videos, let me know in this one, along with any questions or any things that you guys might have. Let me know if you'd rather, like, do you just want like a weekly update episode, or do you want like multiple smaller videos throughout the week? Because I really like being able to do one shot, like no edit videos. I'm lazy, 100%. It's my superpower, is how lazy I am. But if I can shoot it without having to do any editing, that'd make me happy. I'm going to go ahead and start addressing y'all's questions from episode 1, and like comments and stuff too. I'm not necessarily able to read all of them, but don't take it personally if I do or don't read your comment. I still read it like quietly earlier before going through everything, but I just wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter than the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and read and answer comments and stuff. Erin had said, Vaughn, the part about the local churches makes me very sad. I'm sorry you guys had to deal with that. As a Christian myself, I want to say that we are not all like that. Hateful behavior is not part of spreading the gospel, and people who act that way don't represent the church or what we are really about. And Erin, I'm so glad that you talked to me about this. We chatted a little bit more, I think, in one of the live streams, but I really hesitated to talk about my spiritual and religious background because I don't want to alienate any of my friends or think that I'm judging them off of behavior of other people who might have shared, a path of faith or something. And it's like, that's not the case at all. So it heartened me to, have those conversations with you. And I look forward to more conversations with more of y'all about things like that. But I'm the kind of person that, while I do like to agree with my friends, because it's like, I like you, I just want to smile and say yes, and like that's my impulse. I've also learned over the years that it's like, I can agree with you and your perspective and honor and respect your experience and your path while still staying true and independent in my own. It's like, we don't have to walk the same path identical in every way for us to still be friends. Like, I actually prefer to have friends who are on very, very different paths from me sometimes, because they'll see and experience things in ways that I might never do, because I'm experiencing life through a different facet than what they are. And it's very enlightening and eye-opening and refreshing and invigorating and challenging. I like that challenge to have friends who, as an example, Randy and I are like, in our relationship, we are very codependent. Like, we are super clingy. I have not been away from him for more than like overnight. When did I graduate? Since 2007. What year is it? So in 12 years, I have not been away from him for longer than like 24 hours. And that was on my backpacking trip with Laura. And I still texted him. So it's like, and that works out really well for Randy and I. Whereas I have friends that they're like, no, I want none of that. Like, give me space. Like, their personal space is like way more like personal than what mine is. And that's perfectly all right. And I honor and respect that. And it's like, and it's nice to see someone live it'd get boring, I think, if all of my friends and people just everywhere all did things exactly the same way, and we all had the same favorite food, and we all liked the same favorite color, and we all listen to the same music. Like, it's like, no, I want to show me what you like. Tell me what you think, because that makes... Okay. Anyways, Sandy asks, are you going to be able to fit in hiking and kayaking this year? Yes, I hope so. So the plan is in June. It's not official yet, but it's getting there. Randy and I don't have any vending events, and our niece, who is super cool, and is 13 now, we're gonna go kidnap her and keep her for like a month, maybe, or at least 2 weeks. I hope it gets to be for a full month. But all the things that we were going to try to do throughout the rest of the year, we're going to kind of concentrate and make like a really fun summer vacation, hopefully, for our niece. And we're going to try to do some hiking. We're going to try to do a little bit of a kayaking trip. Maybe not camping, because it might be like really hot, and I don't know if she's ever gone camping before. And when I initiate people into the realm of camping, I try to have it be like maybe like sweater weather, where you won't be too cold at night, but there aren't any mosquitoes yet. You're certainly not going to be sweating to death. And so I don't know if we'll be camping, but we're at least going to go kayaking. We're going to go crystal mining. We're going to take her crystal mining with us. There's an aquarium in Springfield. I can't remember the name of it, that we're going to take her to, that Randy and I have been wanting to go anyways. And just having her here is giving us that, that push to actually make the plans and do the things. And so I'm really excited for her to come and be with us, because it's like, Randy and I don't have kids, and she feels like my nieces are like the daughters of my heart. Like, I love them so much, and I would do anything for them. And their parents did such a great job, because as the aunt, I have the easy part. Like, they're already great kids. I don't have to discipline them. Their parents already did all the hard work to grow these children into good people who are interesting and pleasant to be around. So I just get to enjoy their company. And so hopefully she still likes us after she stays for a month. So we'll see how that goes. We were going to introduce her to tabletop gaming, which is going to be kind of fun. So Randy's been reading up on the Fate system, and I don't know. We're really excited. But yes, we will be going hiking and camping or hiking and kayaking. We'll probably go camping as well, but probably not with Matt and not with our niece. And I don't know, I'm just excited, and I don't know how she's going to feel about being on camera and how her parents are going to feel about her being on camera. So it may be like I may have to shoot just a bunch of video before she gets here. That way I've got like footage and stuff for my main channel, like tutorials, but she might be able to help Randy moderate. Oh, sorry, I just threw my shoe. If she doesn't want to be on camera, but that's something I'll have to talk to her parents about and get her opinion on the matter. But I'm really excited about that. like excited. Pitter patter goes my heart. Oh, Kate. She said, "Hi, Kindred. Loved this vlog. You're so special and have helped me through so many rough times just with your words. So thank you." Sending you a hug, Kate. Mwah. Thank you. Like, I can't communicate back to you guys how much your camaraderie and just existence in my life, it means to me. So thank you guys for hanging out here. I'm just honored that you guys choose to spend your time with me. That, and I'm a vampire and it fuels me. But Sandy said, "Loved all this chat, so many good things. You seem to feel so many things that took me 60 years to figure out." Oof. I don't know. I like that. I've been blessed by having a lot of really good people in my life, and from, it made sense to me to, for lack of a better term, listen to your elders. Like, but to listen and be receptive to the wisdom of the people who have walked their paths before me, and it's like, I was very resentful and angry and not open to it for a long time, but I've been very more than anything blessed with Randy in my life, who, he is such an old soul, you guys. Like, on the inside, he is that wrinkly tortoise from Kung Fu Panda, but and he has been my best friend, my lover, my mentor, my partner in all things in this life, and he has helped me to grow into who I am. And I'm very grateful for him to encourage me to slow down and listen and really think of, not all wisdom is directly applicable to my current situation, but that doesn't mean that I can't use it to have empathy, for maybe somebody else in my life who it might apply to or something. And I feel very compelled to, if nothing else in this life, to at least be helpful. And I like making people laugh. But beyond that, I just want to stay fed and have a roof over my house. But I was motivated by those things, and it helped me to see what a lot of y'all, are like, that's wisdom. And I'm like, is it? Because like Randy said it, or I read it in a book or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like just the little tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more that I don't even know what I don't know. So I don't want to be like, oh yes, like, I don't know, in my mind I've got like an ancient, Buddha master mustache, being like, oh, I'm so wise. But it's like, no, I don't. I really don't. I think the wisest thing is that maybe that I have an inkling of how ignorant I might be, and how little my lens and perspective of the big picture is. But I don't know. But thank you. And thank you for y'all's wisdom too and stuff, because a lot of the times y'all comment and open my eyes and my mind to different things. So boop boop boop. Trying to find more questions. Heidi had asked, did I miss the live or did you pre-record it? I had decided to pre-record these, so if necessary I could go in and edit stuff, like if I really need to think about something, or if my words are just not working. And then also with the live streams, I get so like, squirrel, and sometimes the stream cuts in and out, and I don't know, I thought it'd be nice to be able to do this like how we do. Oof. You guys say so many kind things to me. I'm trying to find more of the questions. Okay, Nicole had asked, this is a great idea, but I'm not sure if I love this or the Hangouts better. Good news, we're still doing both. Serious toss-up. I noticed you had eggs on the counter. How long do you keep your eggs before you deem them inedible? Usually, like, if the eggs are over a month old, I just recycle them back to the chickens. It's technically cannibalism on some level, I'm sure. But I'll just boil the eggs up, and then whenever I go out to the chickens, I'll smash the egg and toss it. And that way they get like the shell and the egg and everything. But it cuts back on our feed cost. It helps me, like, if an egg does start to like get, it's mostly, I've never had any go like rotten on me, but I will have them where it's like if I crack one and it's near the bottom of the bucket, and you can tell whenever like it's lost a lot of moisture, that's whenever I'm like, all right, and I'll just give that batch, like what the rest of that bucket, to the chickens. But it's gotten to the point that I'm about to start leaving eggs on like the neighbor's steps or something, to be like, here's some free eggs. Because they are laying eggs like crazy. Like, I cannot keep up with them, even just eating eggs. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, Simone says, when and if you get to New Zealand, do you have a place to stay at the beach with me? Look me up when you get on the plane. I'll come to get you guys. That would be amazing. I still have never seen the beach, not in person. I need to fix this. I need to do a beach trip. I need to. Like, maybe when I get my student loan paid off, I'll do like a beach trip or something to celebrate. Okay, I'm just gonna start reading Neil's comments. Letty had said, on one of your recent live streams, you mentioned some people telling you, insert stern voice, you need to put pants on and be a professional. A long time ago, in what seems like a galaxy far, far away, I was selling homemade PB&J sandwiches and polymer clay mushroom necklaces outside of Grateful Dead concerts, enjoying myself, when someone also told me the same thing, and I listened to them. In that process, I lost who I was and made a lot of bad choices. I personally love who you are and love that you share your successes along with your mistakes. It is what makes you you, and in this monster's eyes, you are a professional. All of that being said, wiping sweat off a forehead, would you and Randy be up for putting together a bloopers video with recording mishaps, funny Von sayings, pet interruptions, and project failures? First off, thank you so much for sharing that. Like, I hope you're finding your way back around to it after, because it can feel once a dream has been, the fire of a dream has been put out, or feels like it's been put out, that you can't resurrect that flame. But I think you can. Like, I believe that it is possible to resurrect flames that have been dampened for 30, 40 years, you know, or even 6 months. Like, I think that's possible. Like, we can never go back to how things were, but we can build a similar fire again. And yes, we're totally going to have to do a bloopers video. It's going to take some sitting down. I think what we'll do is do like a viewer favorite, like, where you guys send us timestamps of your favorite bloopers or pet mess ups or sayings or different things. Just because I've got over like 700 videos now, and that's a lot. And I don't know if I have it in me to go through all of my old videos and find every derpy thing I've ever said. Then I have no idea what you guys like, so tell me what you like, and we'll put together a compilation video of it. It might be just a thing for, like, I don't know, if it can cheer somebody up or something. But yeah, now I've gotten into comments that I haven't read yet. Well, Christy says, Vaughn, I just love when you speak to us from your heart like you do. Honey, you are such a warm-hearted, loving, and special. It's a spurt, but I think you meant spirit. But I like spurt better. I'm a special spurt. Take it from someone who is the gold medal winner of putting yourself down. Games don't do you that. Putting yourself down games. Don't do that to yourself. You're wonderful. Well, thank you, Christy. And let's not get into a peeing race over who's better at putting themselves down. Sarah says, your superpower is lacking discipline. Mine is totally eating all the carbs. My superhero name would be the Carbo Loader. Carbs are delicious, though. They really are. North Paul says, to the person who was disheartened about only creating little, seemingly simple things, I am one of those customers that Vaughn was talking about, who is drawn to the smaller, simpler styles. I am not a wow factor or statement piece kind of person. There are many others like me in that regard. Keep creating. Straight from the mouth of babes, y'all. Like, but no, it's not. And to go back to that, not every single piece needs to be, this huge, extravagant, showstopper, so to speak. Something simplistic can be just as show-stopping. So, sorry. Sam Banks says, hi Vaughn. Hey Sam. You have led me down paths I thought I would never have ventured. Your tutorials are amazing. Your giggle is infectious. I live in the tropical north of Queensland, Australia, in the mountains. You would be welcome anytime. I have to say, that sounds magical. Like, yes. Flippin' derpy. Amen, Marsha. Boop, boop, boop. Shannon says, your advice about recharging hit home. I even took note. Don't just power down, plug in and recharge. And that's something I really think that I need to needle point that and hang it in my house or something, because I keep catching myself, I'll get on Instagram to do business things. I call it my big pig. I have my business Instagram, BIG, and my personal Instagram, PIG, which is my VonBlogVlog channel Instagram, basically. And it's, I mostly just did that way I could separate all the fitness stuff over into one area, like fitness and dance and gardening, and then leave the business one, the Back to Earth Creations Instagram, just wire wrapping and chainmail and stuff, and just trying to be more on brand, I think is the term that the internet people use. And it's and now I just have to juggle 2 accounts. Oh, it's tiresome. I'd rather be crafting 100%, but I'll get on there to do my big pig, and it's I've got to do tags for stuff, and I'll be, and then I'll go back and I answer people's comments, even if they just say oh wow, this is nice, I'm yay, and I do a little face at them, because I appreciate their input, but also it's good for analytics and stuff, which just drains. It's when I interact with y'all as my friends, I want to be able to just interact with you guys without also business Vaughn in the back of my head being that's not good for your analytics. You should do this different instead. And it's I don't care about the in my heart, I do not care about the analytics, but analytically, see what I did there? I do care, because I want my business to be as successful as possible, and, and to reach as many people as possible, because maybe I can help, somebody who, there's no telling. Y'all have given me an insight into how helpful some of my videos have been to y'all. And it's I don't know, I'd hate to not work for a moment and miss something, if that makes sense. And I think I'm a workaholic. I need to work on that. More work for the workaholic. Oh yeah, brain farted. I lost my train of thought too. Instagram, doing my big pig. What was the question? Yeah, and I'll catch myself just scrolling through memes or watching belly dance videos, and it's for 5 minutes. It'll be really good and really inspiring, but then I'll catch myself 30 minutes later, and my last 2 brain cells have just been staring at a wall. It's not engaging the way that it was that first 5 minutes. And so I'm trying to get myself to be mindful of whenever mentally I disengage and just start doing the motions. Does that make sense? Because it's 25 minutes of my day that I just lost whenever I could have been recharging instead of just being shut down. Finished a thought. So Jesse says, if you do a second VonBlogVlog, we're doing a second one. And plans are we're going to do a third one too. So like we're just going to keep these going every week. So keep these questions coming, you guys. Like any questions that y'all have about literally anything. Worst case scenario, I'll Google it and read the first hit to you. If you do a second VonBlogVlog cast, here are 2 questions, but one is personal. If you don't want to answer the personal one, you don't need to. First question. You talk about your mother in your current life. When you spoke about your father passing, you spoke of you caring for him. Where was your mother during that time? If you don't want to answer this question, try this one. Second question. How does an armless man wipe his butt? The power of friendship. Or, I don't know, like, what's it called? The bidet? That's how you press the button. Yeah, the power of friendship on that one for sure. I know I wouldn't want to have to mess with it. But I am going to answer your question about my mom. Mom was an over-the-road truck driver. And so she wasn't home a lot. But yeah, so and Dad was, I think he was really good about putting on a face whenever she was home. That way she didn't realize maybe how bad off he was. But she felt like the best way she could contribute, I think, I'm not her, I can't speak for her, but she had the best, she felt that her best way to contribute would to be to financially support the family. So that's what she often did. And it was good. Boop, boop, boop. Misty says, loved the Vaughn cast. Hey, Misty. Just got back from a week away in Tennessee with family and catching up on all the Vaughn videos in a binge watch. Really loved hearing your thoughts, perspective, and answers to all the great questions. You're such an amazing person. Stop it. I put my bra on one boob at a time, just like everybody. I know others have said this, but it's also true for me. You really revived my passion for crafting and creating, and I truly thank you for that. On top of that, you're pretty awesome and generous and teach there. Oh my gosh. You guys are so nice to me. Like, shut up. But don't stop. Like, it heals my bitter little heart. And these same kind of things that y'all say about me and my work, it's like y'all inspire me. It's like there's no way I'd have been able to keep doing tutorials for, gosh, we did daily videos for like 2 years. There's no way I could have done that. There's no way I could keep going now if y'all weren't constantly inspiring me, not just with your kindness and your generosity, but your own creativity and art that you make and do. And it's just, y'all. Okay. Susan says, Vaughn, how do you keep yourself from squirreling? She says, my thoughts are everywhere. I start on one thing, then when I think of something, I'm off doing it. Most projects just get about to the end, and then I'm off doing something else. Oof. If I knew the trick to that, I'd bottle it and sell it and retire now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it is, and I do jokingly say that I really lack discipline, but this is the one thing that I've been pretty disciplined about is finishing projects. And that's, especially from early on in our business, Randy and I were both very motivated that we were like, well, yes, this is also very fun and artistic and great. We have bills. We have way more bills than what we can currently handle, which at the time we didn't have, like, we weren't making payments on my student loan. We didn't have a car payment. Like, we had just bought it in cash, like super cheap from a family member for it. Like, we got really lucky on that one. But it's like just keeping ourselves fed and our heads above the water, keeping our, bills from getting turned off, was more than what we could manage for a long time. And so that kept us focused, because if every time we finished a project, we felt like, this can sell now. This is we're this much closer to possibly having our bills paid. And so that feeling of accomplishment, of stability, of like the thing hadn't even sold yet, like whatever the project was, that like I finished the pair of earrings and the earrings aren't even sold yet, but it gave me this satisfaction and feeling of structure and stability that it's like, yes, but now I can sell them because they're finished. I have this much potential revenue built up. And so we felt very successful in that we were, we got this thing made and it's done, and now, and it was a way to manage our momentum, and it's like almost like steps of a dance that we would go through, that it's like we start the project, we do the project, it gets hard, but we push through and we finish it and we bag it and tag it and post it and move on to the next one. Like and it just became this wonderful cyclical hey Google, how do you say, I'll Google it later. It became a repetitive spiraling dance. I'll just find different words for it. Of creating and hope and everything. And I really feel like that managing the momentum of our time, and I became addicted actually to that feeling of, we made the thing, we can sell the thing. And then we'd go to a show and we'd sell the thing and I'd be like, yes, and then we'd get home and we'd make more stuff, and it just kept. And now we'd have the downfalls, in the pitfalls of, we just had a really crappy show. Like there was a flea market that we had done one time that we made, like, it was $50 to set up, and in the whole weekend, like 3 days of selling, $50 to set up, gas and food, and all the costs and everything. Fortunately, it was local. We made maybe $40. I can't remember if the words net or gross, but it's like we sold $40 worth of things out of the booth. And we were like, we did not even cover our booth fee. This sucks. And it's hard to, keep up the, enthusiasm and stuff whenever it's like, oh, this is, but we have to just keep reminding ourselves, it's not going to go bad. We have another event in 2 weeks. Like, this is a learning experience. We will learn everything that we can from it and move forward. And what we learned from that one is our stuff does not do well at flea markets, at least not that one. And it's just like, because there was this piece that I remember in particular, and if this person ever watches this, the odds are astronomically low that they ever will, but I hope they saw that because I did it as hard as I could. And this was from like 10 years ago, and I'm still like, gosh, you're really, it was a piece of genuine turquoise, that was hand cabbed. We set it in copper chainmail rings that we had coiled and cut by hand. And, like, it was in the half Persian setting, and it had some European 4-in-1 coming off of each side, and it had a handmade clasp, and we were charging $40. It was one of our most expensive pieces at the time. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it looked very pretty. I liked it. And so there was a little bit of pride around that piece as well, because I had worked so hard to get to where I could do that with the chainmail and stuff. And it's just like, it had everything that we were as artists in it. However simplistic it might have looked. And this guy and his, I guess, wife had walked by, and she was looking at it, and he was just like, how much is that? And Randy was like, that one's $40. We were doing our sales pitch and everything, sales faces on. He was like, I've got $5. And we were like, I'm sorry, maybe another vendor has something better suited for you. And then he was like, y'all take pocket lint? Like, he had dug in his pocket, pulled out lint, and asked us if we take pocket lint. So that was another wonderful example of how I would very much not like to be. Like, I don't want to grow up and be like you. Like, I don't know who I want to be, but not like that. I don't know if he thought he was being funny or what, but it was just, and we were babies too, you guys. Like, I know people don't feel like babies when you're like 19 and 20, but you're a fresh-faced youngin', that is for sure. Like, I'm just saying, even if, like, we know some 20, 22-year-olds who they've seen some shit. Like, they got a lot of character building experiences growing up. Like, they've seen shit, but they're very young, like, and visibly young. And so to treat a couple of kids like that, I'm like, in hindsight, I'm still looking at them like, what the heck? like, is the thought process behind that. So yeah, the way I keep myself from squirreling is I'm constantly being refocused by my overall goal. At the time, I was just financially motivated in the sense that it's like, I want to not get my electricity turned off. I want to eat something other than bologna and rice. And now my main motivator is still financial, in that it's like, I want to be out of debt. I want to be free, financially free, to be able to create art without having to worry about whether or not it is something that is sellable or marketable, or, you know, am I going to be able to pay my bills with it this month? It's like, and so I'm trying to, you know, build my business in a way that I can create artful things that also, you know, that generate enough income that I can do, like my Spyro piece that I had done. That was the first piece of art that I've made in ages, definitely the very first of its kind, you know, costume wise, big costume like that I had made with no thought at all as to how much I was going to sell it for, as to whether or not I'd be able to sell it, as, you know, I wanted to make this thing, and so I did. And y'all made that possible through just watching my YouTube videos and your support on Patreon and people who buy stuff on Etsy. And it's like, so, and again, that's another little seed of encouragement that is helping us manage our momentum into where we're going with our lives. So, well, it's not a live stream, so you can't remind me, but future Von, remember, we got to talk about momentum management here in just a sec. Pretty Hat says, did you know that there is peanut butter powder? I'm gonna have to check that out, because I love peanut butter, and if I could make like smoothies, like lower calorie, like, what's a fruit that I really actually like blueberries and peanut butter together. Like most people are like, ooh, peanut butter and jelly, and I'm like with grape jelly, I like it with blueberry jelly. Like, if y'all haven't tried that, and sugar doesn't kill you as soon as you look at it, I'd try that. Danielle says, loved this first installment of the VonBlogVlog. Doodled a picture while listening/watching the video, and love the casual feel. Also love how honest and all in you are. One of the many reasons I fell in love with your tutorials, as I watch them more for you than the tutorial most of the time. Right on. After nearly 2 years of watching your tutorials, I'm just starting to try some of them. I'm a bit slow at trying things, but it has been fun. Thanks for that. That's awesome, Danielle. I want to see what you made. Go on Discord and send pictures if you're into that. Okay, managing momentum. So, how long has this video been? Okay, cool. So the concept is, and this was something Randy and I were talking about, not like the human condition or anything. It's like just poverty. How poverty, financial poverty, it can be almost inescapable. In that, I mean, and not just getting more money can be really hard to do, but escaping that poverty mindset and feelings and the panic that you can feel whenever, you know, just almost when things go too right, like, if that makes sense. It's just, it can be really hard to pull yourself out of the same survival mode tactics and, you know, different things of, you know, whenever you function on so little for so long, truly in survival mode, that once you get more, it's really hard to not become a bit of a hoarder with, like, you know, and to be almost disablingly stingy, you know, and stuff. And we were considering, you know, how, I can't remember particularly what it was, but we started talking, and we were like, it's not just poverty, or, you know, these are just things that apply to Randy and I, is, you know, poverty, weight loss, you know, like, just success in general, like how to grow yourself into a more successful person in the way that we, is perceived through measurable, tangible things like weight loss as is weighed by a scale and on the, measurements and stuff, and, being more financially successful and keeping your bills paid and maybe having a little bit in savings. It's to manage the momentum of these tangible things. And I make that distinction that they're tangible because I felt wealthy the moment Randy and I put our lives together. Like, I felt like I had discovered this emotional dragon's hoard of wealth that there's no amount of money, no amount of thing in this world that could replace a good friend to me. It's like they're the most cherishable of things. Not that friends are things, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. And it's just, when Randy and I had nothing, we had each other. And there have been times in our life, in our 14 years together, that, I don't think he's ever lost sight of it, but I got pretty wrapped up in some stress that we had for a while there a few years back, and I had lost sight of it. But he waits very patiently for me. All of my friends have waited very patiently for me to come back around, and kind of get my head back on straight. And that means, again, like, the wealth of friendship that I've been blessed with has grown beyond measure, almost beyond my own comprehension. It's just like overwhelming to think about. But to manage the momentum of bringing your dreams into reality. This is what we're going to talk about today. And I don't know how much editing I'm going to be able to do to hopefully make this into, probably not going to do any editing, guys. I'm sorry. I want to release this video tomorrow, and I've got too much stuff to do today. So be patient with me, please, while I get my head on straight. But how did Randy and I, as people who were in a state of, we had no extra money, we had nothing happening in our life to indicate that if we planted this seed that was our business, that it would grow. Like, everybody was like, don't do this, you're gonna fail. Like, not a reflection on us, but just the way that the world is. They were like, this is not going to work. And we were like, where we're at isn't working. Working for others. Like, we're broke where we are right now. And while we weren't necessarily rock bottom, like, we've been very fortunate to not have any drug addictions. We're very fortunate to be in decent health. No loss of limb or life going on, hopefully. It's like we were very lucky, and we were like, if we're going to do this, we need to do this. And we took a leap of faith. And that is the first step in managing your momentum. It's cyclical. I think I said it. Cyclical. Is that how it's pronounced? In managing your momentum, the first step is that leap of faith. It's planting the seed, believing that it will grow. And it's gardening. It's such a metaphor for life. So I'm going to be writing that gardening metaphor here for a minute. But it's, if you don't believe that the seed will grow, then you just, toss a handful of seeds out into a field, and it's like, nothing's going to grow from that. I'm not going to be able to harvest anything. This is a waste of time. This is a waste of effort. Then if you do that with that mindset and that belief, then you're not going to get the kind of results as you would if you have your seeds and you're like, these are going to grow. I'm going to help them grow. And you prepare the soil bed. You remove other weeds. You remove inhibiting behaviors or bad habits or things like, whatever this seed is that you're planting. If you believe that it might grow, then you might, look for things that might keep it from growing and try to remove them from the seed bed. You'll plant them carefully with enough space for them to, grow and flourish, because you believe you're planning on that seed growing, and not just growing, but growing successfully. So planning for the long haul, that this seed is going to grow into a big plant. I need to make sure that this is going to have the room to grow into the plant that it's going to be. And and you're going to water it, you're going to weed it, you're going to keep people from trampling it. You know, if that initial belief can make so much difference in whether you get a scraggly seedling that withers on day 3 because you didn't water it, in between having a lush garden that reaps harvest for years. And what's more, in managing your momentum is you don't have to have all the belief or all the faith. You just need, just a bit of it, just a little faith, just a little bit. There may be enough that you push the seed actually down into the dirt whenever you plant it, instead of just tossing it out into the field. You know, just that, like, daubing it on into the dirt, and maybe even covering it back up if you get crazy. It's just that little bit, that hope that the seed might grow. Then you see the seed start to grow. Then you harvest the seed, and it's like this grew, and it didn't just grow, but it grew pretty okay. The next time you plant a seed, that cycle has reaffirmed, and you have that much more belief and faith and evidence and validation that it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. It grew last time, right? Like it'll grow. And so you might put that much more energy and effort into the planting and caring of that seed, because you're like, well, it didn't work, all the other times before it, but this time it did. If you've watched other people just throw seeds onto the ground, or worse yet, just not plant, because they had no faith, no hope that the seed would grow. But yours grew that once. And so you take that seed again and you plant it with just that little bit more hope than what you had. And maybe this time, instead of just pushing it in, moving the soil, you water it. Not every day, not twice a day, but you just make sure that it doesn't dry out, or maybe you clear some weeds away from it, give it some room to grow, give it some light, and then it grows that much better, which is giving you that much more hope, faith, affirmation, just whatever you call it. You're like, yeah, seeds grow. And so you start planting more seeds, and before you know it, maybe the people around you who previously were not even bothering to plant seeds because all they had seen their whole life was seeds not growing, that they didn't even plant. Maybe they'll plant, and they don't even really have to have much faith or much hope in that seed. But maybe if they plant it and hope just a little, then it'll grow. And before you know it, what could have felt like a barren wasteland of existence, poverty, at least my experience of poverty, something that felt destitute and barren has become a veritable Eden. Like, we can grow our own Edens, you guys. Like nobody taught me this in school. This is something Randy and I literally had to eck out of the soil ourselves. Fortunately, very blessed by the presence of other seed planters reaping their harvests and being like, yeah, I planted a seed and it grew. You could do this too. But there were also a lot of people around us who, it's not even that they weren't planting seeds, but they would knock seeds out of other people's hands because their belief was so stern and focused in that it won't work, that they started hurting and sabotaging and preventing the planting of seeds in the people around them. And that's the hardest thing to escape, because keeping your bills paid and moving into a little bit of a nicer neighborhood or, something doesn't necessarily distance you from people who are like that. You know what I mean? It's people who would knock the seeds out of your hands, even when their garden grows, when they know that those seeds will grow, but they still will prevent you or discourage you from doing that. They're everywhere in this world, unfortunately for all of us. People who would go and pluck your sprouting seed out of the ground are out there, and they're not always poor, and they're not always, it's like people would think, oh, well, that just must be, the low of the earth. Not that poor people are low, but it's like the societal perception of, somehow wealthy, attractive people are more deserving than poor, unattractive people, because they're good people. Well, if they weren't good people, why would they have all these good things? And it's like, that's not how this works. Unfortunately, like, I have known too many good people on some form of social welfare or, disability, or, just like the world has been cruel to them, but they're still good people who would encourage you to plant your seeds. Even when they're unable, they still encourage other people to plant their seeds. And I've seen too many people driving very expensive cars being cruel. But cruelty's everywhere and kindness is everywhere. And hopefully we can all encourage each other to manage our momentum in a way where we're helping each other plant seeds. We're possibly even tending each other's gardens if something happens. Because I know that Randy, for functioning in this metaphor, he tends my garden plant. That sounds almost like an innuendo or something. It's like, want to tend my garden? I'm going to have to say that to him sometimes. But no, it's whenever I can't focus on all the plants that I've planted, he helps me. And that's been invaluable to me, both as a, just as an individual, but also as a business. That's why he's my business partner, and it's, hopefully we can help each other, and we can grow in Eden. Like, I do think we can. But yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about momentum management. And it really is life-changing to be able to do these things. And I can say that as Randy and I taking those steps, and the more I believe, the more I see, because that leads us into the second point. I know this could benefit from editing, but just bear with me. Once you get that momentum managed and you're starting to change your perception, the lens that you experience the world through, it's you see what you look for. If I show you a picture and I'm like, how many red things are in this picture? And you look and it's like, oh, well, there's 12 red things. And it's like, okay, how many brown things were there in the picture? Without showing it to you. And you're like, I didn't see any brown things. And you look back at it and there's brown stuff there too. And then it's like, how many of those red things were a little pink or a little bit of a purpley red? Or, they weren't quite like red, like a Pantone red. And we see what we're looking for. And we're very talented creatures, humans are, in altering what we're seeing into what we want it to be, in kind of shifting the rules a little bit, that we're looking for red, so we're going to look for as much red as possible. So we're going to bend those rules to make our definition of red as accommodating as possible. And this is, to take that same concept and put it into, if you're looking for the worst in the world, then that's going to be what you're seeing. If you're looking for the things that are pitted against you, that's going to be what you're seeing. And not just that, but the lens that you're looking for is discolored by the perception, that we've put this filter on that's like, okay, looking for bad things. And then you'll see somebody interacting with you and you'll presume maybe that they're being cruel intentionally, whether they're being cruel or not. It's like, so you're going to be seeing what you're looking for. And it's benefited me personally most in this world to assume the best of people. It can be disappointing sometimes because, there's some just butt munches out there who are just the worst. But more often than not, I've been very pleasantly surprised to have assumed the best and been proven right. Because if you also go out into the world and assume a pretty high bar, a standard of behavior, of caliber of people, then people will will rise to that challenge, to that opportunity to be like, yeah, I am a good person. Yeah. Whereas if you presume the worst and you're projecting that, people are going to mirror that back, and they're going to, if we lower the bar, then that's where people are going to come and meet us. We have to put ourselves out on the level that we want people to interact with us on. And it's like, I like interacting with people when we're being polite and kind and considerate of each other. So that's what I'm going to try my best to put out. And it's worked out pretty good so far. They get to hang out with y'all, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, managing your momentum can change your life in infinitely minuscule and gigantic ways. So I don't know. There's probably a more like rolls off the tongue better word. What's the opposite of minuscule? Massive. Minuscule and massive ways. Changing your perspective can change your life. Managing your momentum can literally shape where you're going with what you're doing. Every step, every little step, every day. Just yarp. So with that in mind, I'm gonna try to practice that daily. That's the hard part, I think. I can sit here and talk about crap forever, but until I actually start doing it. So hopefully we can all go forth and manage our momentum to be the person that an alternate universe you, I don't want to say jealous. Let's start there. An alternate universe version of you, giving, with an inkling of what your life is, be the person that they would be jealous of. And better yet, be the person that they would be proud of. Be the version of you that if you got to see through a portal into another, alternate dimension, alternate universe, and see somebody living your best life, live it in a way that they'd be proud to peer through and be like, wow, I could be doing really good. I want to be like that person. Be that version of yourself. Like, I feel like I need to refine that concept down a little bit, but it's be the version of you that an alternate universe you would be proud of. So that's our thought for the week. Leave your questions down in the video description. I would love, it's so nice that you all are very kind, and I love sharing your experience. How did you find my channel? What brought you here to have these conversations with me? Are you here for my main channel? Did you stumble across the VonBlogVlog just on its own and you're like, what the heck's this main channel? Just tell me more about you guys. I'm just very curious about that. And then also leave your questions and stuff that you'd like answered, or maybe topics for discussion. If you don't have a specific question for episode 3 of the VonBlogVlog vidcast. But thank you guys again for just spending your time with me, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Also, let me know if at the end of episode 3 if you want chickens or something, because that would be pretty cool. Maybe. All right, love you guys, and until next time, keep being awesome. Bye.